Let's harmonize this space by practicing together for a few minutes, maybe a few hours. No one knows how everything will happen. And then we'll talk. To not waste time, I would like to immediately pass on to you the keys to practices, to meditation, so that in using this at home, you can already dive deeper and deeper, insofar that the goal is immersion. The best path to your realization is the path within yourself. When we use some external objects for meditation, it's a good start. But in the end, we close our eyes. By the way, your sleep is also meditation, you just don't realize it. You close your eyes, or they close by themselves. Consciousness goes to the back of the brain, for those who have one, as I often joke. But the soul, as consciousness of a more subtle phenomenon, rises up high. So now please make sure that your spine, your spiritual altar, is straight. Sit so that you feel it's straight, but don't strain yourself. Lift the crown of your head towards the sky. Please close your eyes. Place your hands with palms up on the area of your knees and thighs. Feel your bodily temple in this position. No need to think whether you're doing it right or wrong. Just lift the spine higher. Pull up the spine every time you feel that you are relaxing your back and your muscles need tone. Keep your chin parallel to the floor or slightly lifted. Eyes closed. Lift your eyeballs up so that you look through the center of your forehead into the space beyond your closed eyes. Lift the tongue up and move it back towards the soft palate, as if you want to reach the back of the nasopharynx. At the same time, do not put too much pressure on it. These are two important conditions: eyes up, tongue back. At first, the eyes wander, tending to go down. You just raise them, keeping them up. Without tension, the eyeballs look into space through the center of the forehead or between the eyebrows. Do not lean forward or backward. Feel the space which you are in right now. We are starting the practice of Kriya Babaji meditation, the goal of which is the realization of the Almighty. What is this, the Almighty? During our practice, I will be talking about the technology itself. I will explain the principles. In order not to waste time, we will, while practicing, perceive information and knowledge about the method. This is meditation. When you, using your tool, your mind, making it more conscious through the acceptance of knowledge, spiritual values, have the ability to enter into a state of silence and peace beyond the mind. It's a matter of time, but persistent daily practice. With the right attitude towards oneself, with the correct understanding of the very techniques of the science of Kriya, The holy science of Kriya Yoga can awaken in you qualities that are inherent or have been given from above, which you possess now, but about which you know or remember little or do not feel. During our practice, we are able to awaken these qualities, but for this, we must do these basic things. Consciously hold the spine straight, the crown of the head, like the dome of a church, strives towards the heavens. The shoulders are relaxed, chest is relaxed, abdomen is relaxed, diaphragm is relaxed, breathing is free. Concentration in the area of the forehead, the center between the eyebrows. Concentration on the back of the head, the area of the medulla oblongata, base of the skull, back of the head. Concentration along the entire length of the spine. If you follow these conditions, then ultimately your meditation will be successful. Feeling evenly all parts of the body right now. Concentrate more in the area of the forehead, back of the head, and along the entire length of the spine. We switch all our attention to sensations. Nothing in this life can prevent us from being in a state of peace and tranquility. Any connections of the mind with the external world, the habitual, which inherently carry attachment, interfere. But you are not the mind, you are not the body, you are consciousness. Meditation is the great method or way of self-awareness. Therefore, using this body temple as an instrument, the highest instrument, the only instrument in this universe allowing one to achieve God realization, by directing all one's attention towards the meditator, again and again attempting to know the one who is meditating. This is the main key. This key is located on the mental level, but this key allows you to go beyond the mental plane. This way out will be successful if you transfer all your attention to feelings. So feeling all parts of the body evenly, feeling from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, the entire bodily temple. To a greater extent, we concentrate in the area of the forehead, back of the head, and spine. Without evaluating, without judgment, without thinking about what you can't do or what you're doing well. Whatever happens, feel the forehead, back of the head, spine, the entire body temple. The Creator is everything in all. His omnipresence is felt by us from the tips of our toes to the crown of our head. No contradictions, no judgments, no mental analysis. There is a feeling of the body completely filled with power, with the Supreme Presence. Slowly raise your hands up, stretch out your fingers to the sides. Feel your body temple in this position. This is a simple action, but your power of concentration turns this action into something miraculous. When you start to feel prana, the life force, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, you perceive this physical temple as a dense cluster of energy. This divine power resides here and now. Every moment, every second forming in space new elements for your body. Evenly feel all parts of the body, from the fingertips to the toes. But to a greater extent, concentrate on the area of the forehead, back of the head, and spine. Feeling all parts of the body, do not try to understand what is happening. Just feel. Relax your fingers, hands, forearms, shoulders. Lower your hands down. Sit in the starting position. Now you can feel new sensations in your body, very subtle, but changing your body temple. Where there is prana, there is life. Prana is the condition of life. The Creator manifested Himself as life force, prana, by condensing Himself in the form of a body. In what manner this works, you will understand in the process of practice. Realize that this body temple is the temple of the Creator. Right here and right now, this is the highest presence. In the spine, there is an altar. Let us consciously raise up the altar in our own spine. The Creator is everything in all. Enjoy His presence through every element of this body. Enjoy His presence through every kind of sensation. Without discerning between comfort or discomfort, learn to perceive everything equally. The Creator is everything in all. His presence is here and now, from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. Keep your gaze up, tongue slightly further back. Try to immerse your consciousness into the center of your head, feeling the spine. Keeping your gaze up, don't try to see anything, just keep your eyes up. The crown of the head stretches towards the sky, shoulders relaxed, be strung upon the spine. At the same time, your muscles, your body temple, are free from tension. A small amount of tension is necessary in order to maintain the position. At the same time, you are aware that you are not the body. You are a witness, observing the processes in this body. You are not the mind. You do not use the mental faculties. You just behold. You are observing. You are an eternal witness. Keeping your gaze up, feel your forehead, back of the head, neck, spine. This correct meditation position of Kriya Babaji is capable of awakening in you the 5 Vedic values. 5 pearls. 5 powerful instruments of transformation. Satya, Dharma, Prema, Santi, Ahimsa. Truth, righteousness, duty, unconditional love, peace, tranquility, non-violence in thoughts and actions. Be impartial to everything that happens. Enjoy the supreme presence of superconsciousness, which you are originally. Meditation is the ability to recognize superconsciousness as oneself. Meditation is the ability to be conscious of the one present, the observer, the witness of the eternal. Meditation is the ability to see oneself as the higher self. We switch all our attention to sensations. In this way, the mind becomes silent. Keeping your gaze up, feel your forehead, back of the head, neck, spine. I will remind you about this again and again. It doesn't matter if you are comfortable or not. You feel all parts of the body equally. Crossing your fingers together, place your hands on the back of your head. Feel your body temple in this position. Do not press on the area of the back of the head. Do not press on the neck area. Arms should be relaxed. Relax the shoulders. Relax your stomach, chest. Look into space. All elements that form the body temple carry knowledge about God, about the universe. Now make a slight tilt of the body to the right side. Feel the lower, middle, upper parts of the back, the spine along the center. Keeping your gaze up, feel the tension in the back of your head, along the entire length of the spine, the entire body temple in this position. Recognizing all the changes not only inside but also outside, perceive them as a manifestation from above. There is sound, there is light. The Creator manifests as sound and light. The vibrations you feel in your body are also vibrations of sound. Perceiving evenly all parts of the body in this position, realize that everything you feel, from the toes to the crown of the head, here and now, in the presence of the omnipotent force manifested in the form of the body. The omnipotent force in the form of the body, again and again carrying the knowledge of God, of the universe, is present here and now. We learn to love all the changes that occur in the body as we perceive these changes as the activity of prana, the life force. Nothing in this body is separate from the unified presence. The entire body temple, again and again, every moment, every second, is filled with the life-giving force of the presence, the supreme presence of the Creator. Return to starting position. Slowly stretch the spine. Keep your hands on the back of the head. Bend your upper body sideways to the left. Feel the lower, middle, upper parts of the back, the spine along the center. Leave the mind without attention. Let it wander, let it analyze, let it do everything it deems necessary. Just remember that you are a witness who is not the mind and is not the body. We observe the experience we gain in Kriya practice. Feeling all parts of the body evenly in this position, perceive it as the presence of everything. Strength, wisdom, divine peace. When you learn to love everything you do not like, you will realize that there is true peace beyond the mind, personality, and ego. Therefore, we learn to perceive everything equally. There is the activity of prana, the life force. Look at this from the perspective of divine presence, not from the point of view of the mind or personality. Return to the starting position. Stretch your spine upward. Let us bend backwards now. Lower, middle, upper parts of the back, the spine along the center. Relax the muscles of the face, abdomen, chest. Feel in this position the entire body temple, forehead, back of the head, the spine in all its length. This body temple is condensed light. Perceive all changes as the activity of prana, the life force, which is sound and light. Whatever happens, feel it as the activity of prana. We learn to love all the changes that occur in the body because everything is a sacred presence. Slowly returning to the starting position. Tilt your head forward. We perform a bow, the body forward. We make a bow forward. Do it very carefully, slowly. Feeling all parts of the body evenly in this position. Be aware of yourself as a witness, observing reactions, the activity of prana, the life force. Feeling all parts of the body evenly. Perceive the universal force from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, expressing itself in the form of the body. We slowly return back. Stretching the spine. We feel the crown of the head, forehead, back of the head, the whole body temple. Lower your hands down. Sit back in the starting position. Keep your spine straight. Move the tongue a little further back. Feel the center of the head. As if you are looking out from the center of your head. But at the same time, do not create an image that you are observing the center of your head. Do not take energy outside of the body. Just feel the middle of your head inside yourself. At the same time, the eyes are consciously kept up. We look from the center of the head into the space on the other side of the closed eyes. At the same time, we feel the entire length of the spine and the contours of the body. Everything you feel, perceive as the presence of all. God, the soul, supreme knowledge, wisdom, divine peace. All elements of this body are active. Those that you do not feel, everything is a dense concentration of immortal power, expressed in the form of the body. We continue to feel the center of our head, looking into space. Feel all parts of the body evenly from the inside. We feel the space inside. We feel the contours of the body. Feel the space outside, the space in contact with the contours of the body, enveloping the body. Evenly from all sides, we feel the space in contact with the contours of the body. Gaze upwards, tongue slightly further back. We feel the space inside, the space outside. This body temple is a temple of God. The spine is the altar. The brain, the medulla oblongata, the center of the head. The spinal cord inside of the spine. We learn to perceive space as the divine presence, as a single whole. This divine sphere inside us on the subtle plane is the gate of karma. We pass through the divine cave into that spiritual supreme world as a result of practice, as a result of scientific concentration, where the 5 sense organs consciously shut off thanks to high degree of concentration and magnetization in the spine. Now raise your hands up again. Stretch out your fingers to the sides. Feeling the space inside and out. Squeeze and release the fingers. Do it slowly. Do it very slowly, as if for the first time. Observe the sensations and realize that this is possible thanks to the presence of prana, the life force. It is impossible to perform any action without prana. Prana is present here and now. But prana is also your intention, your desire to express yourself. You are performing an action. Realize that the action you are performing right now, through the prism of concentration of the forehead, back of the head, and spine, is an action on all levels. All forces are present here. Physical strength, astral strength, mental strength, spiritual strength, uniting everything. We bend and straighten the arms at the elbows. Lower the arms down, work with the fingers, contracting and expanding them outwards. Continue to keep the spine straight. Feel the spine inside and outside. All these elements charge the body very well, provided that you have powerful concentration, which grows every time. We must change our attitude towards this body. By changing our attitude towards the body, we awaken special qualities. We continue to work with our hands, fingers, holding the gaze upwards, tongue back, feeling all parts of the body evenly. We awaken special powers by directing the mind to the divine presence. We realize that everything we feel here and now is the presence of the supreme power, expressed as life force, prana. Prana, expressing itself as an element of the subtlest energies. The 5 types of energy, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, form atoms, molecules, cells, organs, and systems. Relax your hands, lower them down, continue concentration. Maintain the sensation of the forehead, back of the head, and spine. There are 5 types of energy, 5 elements. The elements of earth, water, fire, air, and spatial ether. All this is the essence of the life force, prana. All this is the body temple. This body temple consists of organs and systems. Organs and systems are comprised of cells. Cells are comprised of molecules. Molecules are comprised of atoms. All atoms are energy. Energy is a transcendental force, or the Holy Spirit, behind which stands the Creator Himself. Therefore, we are aware of the presence of the Creator here and now, from the tips of our toes to the crown of our head. Perceive of all parts of the body evenly, as the manifested power of the Creator. This is the principle of energization. Where your attention is, there is the divine presence. This is the highest principle of energization. When we think, we become what we think about. We are what we think. We are how we breathe. Every inhalation and exhalation is the acceptance of the Creator in the form of prana, the life force. We are not dependent on oxygen. We live thanks to the presence of prana, the life force, behind which stands the Creator Himself. It is He who sustains life. Every living being is manifested in this external world thanks to the presence of the Creator. Right now, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, be aware of His presence through breathing, through all kinds of changes in the body, through external processes, through internal sensations. Awaken your awareness through immersing the mind in the body, the intellect in the spine. Kriya is a direct and short path to the omnipresent God within us. All processes are within you. Light is within you. Feel evenly, realize and remember that there is no distance between God and us, no difference, because He is everything in all. We are aware of the unified presence here and now. We are aware of all the changes that arise as His manifestation. We realize that all processes that arise right now are His voice speaking to us. This is the knowledge that, in a powerful stream, awakening our consciousness becomes our possession. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. Place your left hand on the forehead area, right hand on the back of the head. Feel your bodily temple in this position. Holding the gaze upwards, tongue slightly further back. Immerse your consciousness in the center of the head. Observe what is happening in your psycho-emotional and physical planes. Switch your hands' positions. Holding the gaze upwards, feel. Now you know all sensations are not that which hinders or distracts. It is the activity of prana. Prana occupies all space. Prana carries knowledge about God and the universe. This is an expression of divine presence. He is the only element present in this space. He is omnipresent. Thanks to His presence, we came into being. Thanks to His presence, we become aware. Lower your hands down. Thanks to His presence, we can express ourselves. He is a titanic force, the most perfect spiritual force, expressing itself right now through sensations, vision, and sound. There is only one element, the Creator. He is omnipresent. From the toes to the crown of the head, everything you feel, perceive as His presence, His omnipotent power. We learn to accept all the changes that occur in the body, trusting all processes. It does not matter whether we like it or not. We trust Him, His manifestation. We perceive Him as the almighty power of God manifested in form. Through mental power, we invest ourselves again and again in this great idea, creating a thought form that this body temple is a direct expression of the Creator. We, in changing our relationship towards these truths, change consciousness at the cellular level. This body temple is the temple of God. The spine is the altar. The brain, the medulla, and the spinal cord are the repository of divine power. We concentrate, feeling again and again and perceiving the light in the repository of divine power, the vibrations of the divine vessel or repository. Feeling all parts of the body evenly, we perceive that these vibrations constantly form the body temple, supporting, protecting, preserving, creating. Your concentration, reducing the distance between the mind and the body, switching you from the mental elemental plane to feeling and perception of the body temple, shortens the distance between God and you consciously. Meditation happens. Samadhi happens. Disidentify yourself from the principle of ego, mind, and bodily consciousness. You are pre-consciousness. You are the supreme superconsciousness, from which all elements are born, from which the body temple is born, all planes. Again and again we feel the forehead, the back of the head, the spine. We are conscious of the unified presence. Perceive your body temple as a concentration of power, the supreme power. This power is present here and now. Do not evaluate. Remain without judgments, without the thought process, without attempting to understand anything. This is not important. It is important to feel and immerse oneself. True understanding comes beyond the mind. It arises as what you are initially. It doesn't matter what the mind thinks or knows. What matters is what you know. The reactions of this body are not important. What is important is that you realize the presence of superconsciousness, which you are. Superconsciousness, or Atman, or the higher self. We trust all the changes that arise. We trust Him, who manifests Himself through all changes, from the toes to the head. All processes, all sensations, everything is a single presence. Realizing this, we are able to accept. By accepting this, we accept the power, wisdom, divine peace. Feel the space inside and outside. And remember that there is no distance between God and us. Realize the concentration of immortal power. Prana is indestructible. Prana is the basis of atoms, molecules, cells, organs, and systems. Realize the immortal power from the toes to the head. Now mentally turn to the Almighty, folding your hands together near the heart, and ask Him about that which you desire. May the light of divine mercy be with you. Hara Hari Om. May all the transformation of your life, your consciousness, go successfully for your benefit and the benefit of all around you. May all beings in all worlds be happy. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Preserve this feeling. You now know that nothing can hinder you from being in this state. When you realize that all changes in this body, in this space, in your life, the entire series of events, it is merely a game of the five elements. Being a witness, an observer of this, realizing yourself as a witness of the eternal, you can calmly behold being in a state, being within yourself. This is the presence in your true nature of being, the initially existing, in that whom you are. Just behold, observe, actively participating in this, realizing that you are the witness, Atman. You can be in the world, but always be aware that you are not of this world. You can and should spiritualize the material nature of this world, but always understand that everything is a game, everything is an illusion. At the same time, this beauty should fill the space. Everything should be beautiful. The game must be beautiful. But we always remember who we are initially. From Paramatman, the world arises, and in Paramatman, it dissolves. All forms, every moment of time, arise from space. An infinite number of worlds arise from this space. An infinite number of forms and bodies, forming ever newer and newer forms, elements, arise and dissolve in this space. Therefore, there is no need to worry, because Atman, the higher self, which we are initially, the witness, he is eternal, beyond the processes of destruction, aging. He is the always existing one without the other, eternal in himself, unchangeable, always present. The always existing I am. In this state arises meditation. In this state, true knowledge is awakened. With such an attitude or feeling, perception, we must engage in practice. We must live in this life. You can turn your life into a constant practice everywhere. When you realize and when you perceive the whole world from the perspective of a single presence. Good. Now we can open our eyes. This was only energization in the sitting position. In fact, in the practice of Kriya, there is a huge amount of interesting knowledge. This technology allows one to reach or bring to perfection any person who has never practiced anything before, and who has no understanding of what is referred to as some knowledge or experience. But if a person practices this holy science on the condition that he persistently does what, let's say, the Master says, then in a short time, much shorter than a lifespan, a person can achieve realization on the condition that he practices persistently and sincerely. And along the way, he begins to understand all the processes that arise in his consciousness and in the consciousness of each cell.